Cingari here with another edition of the Must Love MMA show. Joining me today is Michael Rhodes. Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing good, and how are you?
I'm good. It's been a while since we spoke.
It has. It's been, man, it's
Too
been
long.
quite some time. Yeah, way too long.
You've got a big fight coming up against Ron the Choir Boy Stallings on November 23rd. Let's talk about that. First off, let's start with training camp. How's that going for you?
Training camp has been going awesome. We got everyone's fighting, here at Rufus Sports. So it's been a packed gym every single day. Hard training sessions. I got a teammate, Gerald Mershart, who's fighting tonight for the RFA middleweight title. We got Tyron Woodley, who's been up here training with us. He brought in, Sage Northcutt. We got Chris Spang. So we just got a bunch of guys getting ready for fights. I'm feeling awesome. I've been training, as hard as I can. I've been using cryotherapy to make sure that I'm recovering good. And I can't complain. I think I'll be ready to fight.
How would you describe that cryotherapy, by the way, anyway? Because I was in it. It's pretty cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like ice bath, but way better. You don't have to waste all that time. It's 3 minutes. You get in there. It's like a negative 150-something degrees in there. Get your skin temperature down, and it just, promotes healthy healing and blood flow in the body. So it's awesome to keep you on track and to keep you going through all the hard workouts that we have to during camp.
This is your first title defense. Any extra pressure because of that?
No, for me, titles don't really mean anything unless it's the UFC's title. That's the one that comes with the real money. Right now, this title just means that, I got to fight 5 rounds for the same amount of money. So, title, no title, just a fight to me.
You're ready to go.
Ready.
How do you think you match up stylistically with Ron? You've been very active, fighting a lot. He sort of had a bit of a layoff.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm a stylistic disaster for everyone, at middleweight. I still have my speed, quickness, my movement as if I was fighting at welterweight still, but right. I'm just as strong. My striking has been improving. My jiu-jitsu is on another level. I just received my brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Congrats.
I'm going to wrestle here with Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley here in a little bit. So, my style is everything. I'm good everywhere, and that's a nightmare for people because if they lack in one area, I can pinpoint that and take advantage of that.
You've been on a tear since you left the UFC, so congrats. Is your hopes to get back on the roster? You mentioned that in just a little bit earlier, though.
Yeah, I think I should already be back on the roster. I took some really tough fights. The guy that, a couple of guys that beat me, one of them's ranked 6th in the world at middleweight. He's up in title talks, knocking a bunch of guys out, and he couldn't do that to me. So, that lets me know I deserve to be there. I'm supposed to be there. I'm just putting in the work to get back there. That's the ultimate goal. There's a bunch of guys in the UFC that I think I'm better than, and so it's up to me to prove it. This is going to be another step in that direction, and then I should be up there terrorizing the UFC here soon.
Speaking of better than, have you given any thought as to who you would like for your first UFC opponent?
Honestly, the 185 division is really open.
Yeah.
It's top heavy. I think the top 5, 6 guys, they've been there for a while. There's not a lot of movement going on in there. I think I could fight any of those guys right away. There's a lot of young dudes that were coming off the Ultimate Fighter show, things like that I could see getting a matchup with. Some of the guys that were brought up like me from a VFC or a RFA, those guys as well. But to me, honestly, it doesn't matter. I think I can compete with the guys in the top 10 and even the champion on any given night. I believe in my skill set.
Now, we have a photo of you training with Sage Northcutt. What was he like?
Man, I was one of those guys at the time. I was a welterweight, and I think I was a little upset when Sage got brought to the UFC through that TV show. And from the outside looking in, you see his personality. You think it's fake. You think no one can be that happy all the time. But that kid is, man. And training with Sage, he works hard. Every day he'd be like, hey, Mike, can you help me out with this? What do you think about this position? he's just a student of the game, a really, really nice kid, humble, respectful. He's someone that, should be a role model. He's someone that should be looked up to and be admired. Even someone, I teach Taekwondo. I own a Taekwondo school. He comes from that background, and I would love for all of my students to end up just like that young man. And he's an unbelievable fighter as well.
That's nice to hear. I haven't had a chance to interview Sage, but I'm giving a shout out right out to him right now because we got to do an interview with him. Don't you agree?
And you'll have a lot of people amazed and astonished by how real and how humble and a good character that kid is.
Good to know. All right, Michael, now we're going to go to some fan questions. Connor Hayden at Connor Hayden 414 wants to know, how long is Stallings going to survive, and how does it feel to bring a card like this to Lewtown?
I'm no Mystic Mac with the prediction, but I feel I can finish anybody. So look for an early finish. I don't get paid for overtime. I don't want to fight 5 rounds. I'll be prepared to go that distance, but I feel like my skill set, I can get anybody out of there within the first or second round. So that'll be my goal, and that's what I'll be shooting for. And to answer that second part, I'm from Waterloo, born and raised. I've been in Milwaukee, the last five and a half years of my life. But, no place replaces your home, and from where I'm fighting is a 5-minute bike ride from where I was born and raised, my house where my mom and family is. So this is major for me to bring something back to, what made me what I am, to bring this opportunity to the city and to give guys the opportunity to fight on a card that's going to be featured on Fight Pass. A lot of guys locally who might not have gotten that chance, this might be their chance to be seen, and this can be big for their career. So that's what I'm hoping. And, I'm grateful that they're bringing it to Waterloo, Iowa. They didn't have to do that. And, I think I played a big part in that with the success that I've had. And so I hope to bring success to the city and to the kids and fighters around the area.
So will there be a big Michael Rhodes cheering squad there with signs and everything?
Yeah, I think that place is going to be jam-packed. I mean, it's going to be hard to find a fan that isn't cheering for me. So that place is going to be sold out, and it's going to be a great night.
Good for you. Mike, whenever I do these interviews, I spend a little time researching. And besides the lovely photo I found with you with Sage and some of you with Tyron and you training, I also saw this new move with you with Tyron. Now, we know you guys are doing the dance moves all the time, but I got to know, who's a better dancer, you or Tyron?
I think there's two different kind of dances going on. I think Tyron has some of the old school moves. He can two-step, and he might have a little bit more of the mature dances down. But I think I'm a little bit more in tune with the stuff that's going on now. So some of these little dance crazes, you see I'm a little bit more into it than he is.
So who makes up the dances, you or him?
No, those are already dances that are like being done. So they're already sweeping the internet, and Tyron or the UFC, whoever comes up with these ideas, they're like, hey, I think you should do this dance. And somehow Tyron always ropes me in to dancing on camera. And this time we brought my roommate and teammate, John St. Pierre, or JP is what we all call him, brought him into the mix. And, now we're viral.
What about salsa? Down here in Miami, salsa, sort of the little merengue salsa thing is a big thing. Have you ever salsa'd?
Yeah, I've tried all kind of dancing. We have a place up here called The Warehouse, and they do salsa, they do bachata, they do, all kind of different dances and stuff like that. And those are things that I'm interested in. I think to be a well-versed man, you need to be able to do all those dances. You got to be able to foxtrot and do it all. So at the end of the day, I hope I can, acquire those skill sets.
I'm impressed. I used to professional ballroom dance, so it's not really as easy as it looks. But I suppose if you're kind of doing those dance moves, it gives you a little bit more energy and gets you more fired up when you're hitting the cage, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't dance, you can't fight. That's what I tell people. You got to be able to move your hips. You got to be able to move your feet. it's all about footwork, coordination, rhythm. So those are all things that transfer over to fighting. So that's the reason why most of us can dance. The ones that can't, they're probably just tough.
Anything else you want to add today, Mike? And please tell our viewers how we can follow you on social media.
Yeah, the only, I would like to add that I appreciate all the support I've been getting. I was a little bit of a layoff since I won the VFC title. That was because they had this big opportunity to put the fight on in my hometown. I had to sit on that, that knowledge. I couldn't make it public to everyone else, but I knew what I was waiting for. And I appreciate all the continued support. And I really appreciate all the support I really got when my niece recently passed from cancer, and the MMA community and all my fans, friends, family that came together and helped out with everything that me and my family needed in that time of need. My church family and my gym family, not being able to be home as much, they really took care of me and showed me how much that people truly care about one another. Besides all the stuff you see going on in the world today, there are people that care, and I'm appreciative of everybody who reached out to me, whether it was a tweet, a comment, a like, anything is greatly appreciated. But my social media hasn't changed. You can get me at Team Rock Biggie. That's TeamRock Biggie. That's Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Mike Biggie Rhodes fan page over on Facebook, and BiggieMMA.com is my website. So that has all my updated information on there. And pictures, videos, and everything like that. So make sure you're checking me out on there. Follow me and engage with me. I hate to see big numbers when no one's engaging. Let's have fun. What's the point of following if you don't want to talk and create conversation, joke, laugh, something? Don't just be a ghost.
I agree with that one for sure, because I'm on Twitter all the time, as many of their fans know, like all the time. It's a little scary. Must Love MMA fans, you can catch VFC 53 on UFC Fight Pass. And if you're in the Waterloo area, be sure to grab a ticket for VFC 53 on Thanksgiving Eve, November 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. Michael Rhodes, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, and I wish you good luck on your fight.
Thank you so much.